All right, I am Nathan from Evangelen Games, and I'm going to be showing Tiny Epic Zombies, just released here at Shut Up and Sit Down Expo. Tiny Epic Zombies has multiple modes of play. I'm set up here for the cooperative game, but you can play competitively. Cooperatively, we're going to be working together to try to complete these 3 objectives. There are many different scenarios throughout the course of the game. I happen to just have quarantine the infected, fix the helicopter, and save the stranded, but you'll also have to escape the mall, investigate the source, escort the army. There's a lot of different objectives to choose from. In this version of the game, fixing the helicopter, saving the stranded, and quarantining the infected, we're going to need to be moving across this board, taking our move actions, going to these different icons on the board, and the icons and the tokens that got placed out were based on what scenarios that I had. And there's going to be lots of zombies that are going to get into this board. So the way that we lose this game is if all of our survivors are dead. And in this game, at any point in time, your wounds and your ammo actually reaches the same spot on your tracker. That's actually when your character dies. And what's cool is when your character dies, it actually flips over to the zombie side of the character, and you actually become part of the horde now, and the zombie character is going to have more abilities to choose from to try to mess with you. You'll lose a survivor, but then you'll get to grab a new character and keep playing. We're going to get 3 move actions on our turn, and then there are sub-actions associated with it as well. And the sub-actions are all free. You don't have to spend action points, you don't have to do anything, you can just grab things. So on my turn, I'm going to be able to take a movement, take another movement, I'm adjacent to a zombie, sweet. I'm going to spend an ammo, kill this guy off of there. And then for my third action, I'm going to move into this room and pick up the supply crate. Picking up a supply crate is awesome because these rooms are going to get full and full of zombies. And as these rooms get full of zombies, there's ultimately going to be nowhere where they can go. And so at any point in time, a zombie that gets put into one of these stores that's adjacent to this courtyard gets put into the room, but it's full, it's going to move into the center courtyard. The zombie is immediately munched, and the barricade goes down. Barricade gets to 0, you lose a survivor as well. So 2 ways to lose survivors. So not only are you going to have to worry about completing your objectives, you're also going to have to worry about clearing out all these zombies. And once I end my turn, whatever store I end my turn in, I get to flip a card over from this search deck. The search deck has a built-in timer where if the search deck runs out, you'll also lose the game. So you only have a certain number of turns to complete all these objectives. So I'm going to flip this search card. Ooh, chainsaw is pretty cool. This symbol right here indicates how the zombies spawn. So this is an orange symbol. So all of the orange rooms, and there's 2 of every color room, is gonna get a zombie. So this room is already full of a zombie. You're gonna see an arrow pointing you where to put the next zombie in that room. Same instance, this room's already full of a zombie, you're gonna be able to put the next zombie in that room. And now, to get this chainsaw, on my next turn, when I take a movement in this room, I'm gonna be able to pick up this chainsaw. And one of the best parts about Tiny Epic Zombies and many of the Tiny Epic games is you get your chainsaw, you don't have to pretend that your fry cook has a chainsaw. Your fry cook actually gets to have a chainsaw. And these items are gonna offer awesome, cool new abilities. So everybody can have a melee and a ranged attack, but those follow the normal rules of the game. When you get these items, you're gonna be able to break those rules and be able to kill zombies much more efficiently. Normally, if you enter a room with a zombie, you make a melee attack. Now the zombie is going to be killed regardless of what the outcome of the die is. However, you have to roll this dice because you may get wounded in that process. But there's a pressure luck element where you could get an overrun splat. So essentially you can go on a killing spree, move here, roll another splat, and just keep moving on and just killing all these zombies. The quarantine infected adds a wrinkle to that when you move in to attack the zombie for a melee, you have to roll that symbol. And you have to keep re-rolling until you roll that symbol. So you can just take wound after wound after wound. You know, you're struggling with the zombie, you're fighting, he's biting you a little bit, but eventually when you run that overrun, you're gonna kill off that zombie. Saving the stranded. There's 2 little icons around here. One's a little girl, one's a zombie. You find the icon that's the little girl, you move up on the tracker, the tokens get reshuffled and go back to the entrances of other rooms. And again, there's many, many scenarios to play from, and so the game is gonna feel very, very different each time you play. All of these cards are double-sided. This game introduces vehicles, so if I end my turn where the motorcycle's at, for the next round, I get a jump in my motorcycle, and now I get 6 movements instead of 3. The cop car is also part of the game. It's on the other side of the garage, and so sometimes there's the motorcycle, sometimes there's the cop car, and they do function a little differently. All the meeples fit in the cop cars, or the things, weapons, equipped, they all function inside there. You get to a point where you really need to clear out the zombies because they're hitting your barricade, your timer's running out, and you haven't got some of your objectives. So you're gonna have to start getting a little bit creative and take more risks. Take more melee attacks to roll those die. Go where you think you might be getting hit. If you play the game safe, you will not win. It's a zombie outbreak. There's risks involved to make here. To get the tokens, to look at the stranded, to do anything with any of the objectives, the big key in the game is that you must have cleared the store first. So what that means is that if I move into here, even if I kill this zombie, I'm not going to be able to pick up this token. But if the room was cleared of zombies and I move in, then I get to pick up the token. So a lot of your decision making becomes, how can I make sure to maximize my 3 movements but end up in that spot with no zombies? So in this instance, I'm going to want to take a move action, spend an ammo to shoot him. Take a second move action, spend an ammo, shoot him. And then my third action, now I can go in here and pick up the helicopter part. Where initially, if I would have went in here to melee, I would have had to go in here melee, move here melee, and then move back onto it, and it would have been less movements. And so you're always kind of positioned with this small little puzzle of how do I make sure I clear the room and still get to where I'm going. Zombie game, heavily thematic, but it plays in 45 minutes to an hour. Extremely easy setup, extremely easy rule set. So I kind of gave you a taste of that cooperative element, but again, all of these cards double-sided, you flip it over, now there's competitive objectives that you have to complete. So each card has a cooperative and a competitive side. In the competitive game, you give the zombie a brain. You know, rather than the zombie AI, you're just munching along, I would get to control the zombies, and rather than living off the top of this deck, I get to have a hand size, and I'm actually distributing these cards out to the players, anticipating where they're going to try to mess up their actions. Lots of replayability, tons of value, lots of fun zombie meeples. They can break dance if you want, but they're very, very cool. And you can hold one range and one melee weapon. So I got the machete, and you know what? I might as well have a revolver too. And that is Tiny Epic Zombies. Brand new Gambling Games.